Hello and welcome to this new video tutorial of social sign up for Magento 2, and in today's video tutorial we'll be showing you the backend configuration and the front-end workflow of this extension. But before we proceed further, let me give you an overview of this extension itself. So using the existing login information from a social network provider like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter or LinkedIn, the user can sign into a third-party website instead of creating a new account specifically for that website. So basically the social sign-up allows the customers to directly register themselves using the existing information that is there within the social network, and it helps the customers to quickly create an account on a third-party website. Now let's get ahead and let's see how basically this extension works. But before that, we'll be checking out the module configuration settings within the admin backend panel. So let me take you to the admin backend panel now. So here I am in the admin backend panel right now of the Magento 2 web store. So what I'll do is I'll first log into my admin backend panel, and after that we'll be navigating through stores, then configuration, and on the configuration page under the web tool block we have the social sign up menu option, so we need to tap that up. Basically this is just a demonstration that I'm trying to show you. So we also have other modules installed on this instance right now, and they are not the part of the social sign up itself. So for the social sign up, here we have all the configuration settings, and now we'll go through each of them one by one. So basically the very first setting that we have is to enable or disable all social login. So if you have enabled this option, then all of the social networks would be available at the front end for the user to choose, so that the user could register himself using the social network information. So if you disable this option, then the social networks would not be available at the front end for the users to choose, and they'll have to register themselves all by themselves in a fresh new manner. So for the time being, we'll be enabling this particular extension so that the social networks are available at the front end for the users, so as to register themselves on the third-party website. Now after that, we have the Facebook, Twitter, Google, LinkedIn and Instagram options here, and under there what we need to do is we need to enable each of these what we say as the social networks. And for that, what we need to do is we need to set the status of each as enabled. So for example, you just want the Facebook and Twitter to be available at the front end, then what you need to do is you need to enable the Facebook and the Twitter as well, and both of these, the Facebook and the Twitter, would be available at the front end. And for the rest, like the Google, LinkedIn and Instagram, you can set them up as disabled, so that they are not available at the front end. So it depends upon your requirement, whichever social networks you want to make available for the users to choose, you can set them up accordingly. So after you have enabled this social network, for example the Facebook, then we need to enter the application ID, secret ID. So after you have registered yourself at the Facebook, let me give you an example for that, and let me take you to the user guide of this particular extension first. So within the user guide, we have already mentioned how to set up an application for the Facebook. So what you can do is you can navigate to the developers.facebook.com and you can create a Facebook application using this particular link. And Facebook requires that you create an external application linking your website to their API, and the app ID and the app secret, also sometimes referred as consumer key and the key and the secret key, or the client ID and the secret, are what we call as application credentials. So this application will link your website, for example example.com, to Facebook API, and these credentials are needed in order for Facebook users to access your website. So here we have given all the steps to how to get the credentials that are to be used within the backend module configuration settings for this social network. After we've enabled the Facebook, we need the app ID and the app secret to set up this Facebook social network for the sign up purposes. So here we have set up the steps, and you can follow these steps, and you can then get your IDs at the end of the steps there. So here you can see that here you will get the application credentials, that is the app ID and the app secret. Under the settings we have the basic option, and under the basic option you will get the app ID and the app secret for use within the module configuration settings. So let me take you back to the configuration panel in the admin backend. So we have enabled the Facebook, we have set up the application ID and the secret key, and we can also add the login button. So here what you can do is you can use an image for the login button, so that the customers know what exactly the network, social network they are using. So similarly we have the Twitter, we can enable the Twitter. We can get the app ID and the secret similarly for the Twitter as well, and we have mentioned all the steps that are required for getting the Twitter app ID and the secret. And for this also you can set up the login button, and you can choose an image for that login button, and the allowed types are JPG, JPEG, GIF and PNG. So let me show you how these login buttons basically, after you have uploaded the images for the login buttons for the respective social networks, how do they appear at the front end. So for that, let me take you to the front end once. So this is basically the sign in page. So here you can see that the images that we had uploaded for the Facebook and Twitter are visible here. Similarly for the Google Plus, LinkedIn and Instagram as well. So the images that you upload in the backend configuration would be available on these buttons here, so that the customers can recognize their social networks. So let me take you back to the configuration settings. Similarly, we have the Google Plus, we'll enable it up, we'll set up the client ID, client secret, the image for the login button, and similarly we will go with the LinkedIn, we'll enable it up, we'll set up the app ID, secret and the login button image, and lastly for the Instagram we'll enable it, the client ID, client secret would be set up, and then we'll set up the login button for the same, and lastly we'll tap the save configuration button to save the configuration settings. So that was about how the admin would be able to configure the social networks from the admin backend, and how he can enable or disable it as well, and how the admin can choose which social networks to make available at the front end by enabling or disabling the respective social network. So let's get to the front end now, and let's see how this social login actually works for a user. So for that, let me take you to the front end now. So here I am at the web store front end for the Magento 2, and here right now I'm on the login page. As you can see on the left hand side, if I'm a registered user, then I can enter my email and my password to log in directly into the website. Otherwise, if I don't have an account with this particular website and I want to register myself, or I want to log in quickly, I can tap any of these social networks to log in. Apart from that, if a user adds product into the cart and tries to make it checkout, for example, here we are on the let me take you to the checkout page. So this is the checkout page. For example, if you've added a product into the cart and you try to go ahead and proceed for the checkout, then under the shipping address or the shipping step, you'll have to enter your email address so as to create a new account. And you can skip that part and you can choose any of these social networks to directly log in and place the order there. So let's go to the main page, and let's try and log in, or let's try and log in using it as a social network. At the login page right now of Magento 2 Web Store, and I'm a user and I don't have an account with this particular website. So what I can do here is I can use any of these social networks to directly log in or register myself up. So for example, if I tap on the Google Plus, it brings up this pop-up wherein you need to enter the username and the password for your account and the Google Plus, and after that you can directly log into this particular website. And for example, if I tap on the Instagram button there, you'll be able to see that we get a sign in option here. So we need to enter our Instagram username, email, or the phone number that we have used there for our account at Instagram, and the password for that, and then we can tap the login button to directly log into this particular website here. So what we'll do is we'll try and check the login through this Google Plus account. So here you can see that the pop-up has come up and we already have an account there. So what I'll do is I'll select one of my Google Plus accounts there, and it would start like registering up. And here you can see that the message says that your Google account is now connected to your new user account at our store, and now you can log in using our Google Connect button or using the store account credentials that you'll receive to your email address. So that was how the user would be able to directly log in to this third-party website using the social networks. So let me log out from this now. So a user would also be able to find these social networks at the checkout page as well. For example, if you try and add a product into the cart and you wish to make a checkout, at that time as well, if you don't have a account on this particular website, then you can make use of any of these social networks to log in and place the order. So that was much about the social sign up for Magento 2, and I hope that this video tutorial helped you somewhat. And if you have any questions or queries regarding this extension, then you can always get back to us at support@webkul.com, or you may raise a ticket at webkul.ubdesk.com. Thanks for watching this video and have a great day ahead.